The best salesperson doesn't make the best manager. The best personal trainer doesn't make the best personal training manager. And the best real estate agent doesn't make the best real estate agent owner. Neither does the best business person make the best coach, nor does the best player make the best captain. Hey, welcome to JTInTheRaw show 115, where I'm going to talk and chew the thin today about getting the right people on your bus and in the right seat. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Chantel. Good morning, Brett. How are we on this gorgeous day here in Sydney? What a cracking day. I'm on the way to the gym, got the bike behind me. Why wouldn't you want to ride on a day like this? It is gorgeous. Welcome to JTInTheRaw show 115, where I chew the thin on business and I just share some insights to help you run your business more efficiently, more effectively, and let's just say more profitably as well. It's raw, it's unedited, so you are going to get some hot stuff today because it is hot down here. So today I'm going to be talking about how to get the right people on your bus and in the right seat. And I've got a couple of examples I want to share with you this morning that I saw firsthand this week. Morning, Jared over there from Precore. Little plug there for Precore, great supporters of the Fitness Business Podcast. Morning, Scotty G. Got a couple of shout outs. First shout out goes to MotionSoft. MotionSoft is a huge company over there in the United States. And I am heading over with Chantel from the Fitness Business Podcast. We head over on Sunday, a couple of days in New York, and then down to Washington to the MotionSoft Tech Summit. This is where the leading minds in the fitness industry are going to be coming together to talk about technology in the fitness industry. What does it look like? What are we doing with it? Where's it heading? Really exciting time. Can't wait to be there. Not sure how many Aussies have ever been to that conference, but really looking forward to going. Chantel's just put that in yes, she has just put the link to the conference in the notes below. So if you're interested in going and you're based in the US, get your butt along. We'll see you there in Washington. Got another shout out. This one goes to a couple of coaching clients that I work with, Chris and Linda. These are by far, I hate judging my coaching clients. It's not a cool thing to do, but these two are my rock stars. They do more prep than anybody else for their sessions. They do more follow through immediately after the session. They are doing a cracking job in a club in Melbourne called Field and Function, and they are ripping people. And I just want to give them a big shout out this week and recognise the efforts that they're making in their business, but also around their coaching. I think one of the really important things, if you've got a business coach, then it's really important that you do your prep before the session and you do your prep after the session. When you do both of those, you are going to get maximum value from your coach. And these two, Chris and Linda, you guys are nailing it. Kudos to you. Well done. It's great working with you guys. It's great working with all my clients, but you guys this week really exemplified what a great client should do. So I want to tell you 3 stories about getting the right person in the right seat on the bus. So the first one is I walked into a gym this week and I saw a girl there that I knew, and she was working on the front desk, and I said, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "Oh, I just got promoted to be sales manager." And I said, "Oh, tell me about that process." And she said, "Well, I was at Club X and then I moved to Club Y, and from Club Y, they saw that I was closing a lot of sales. In fact, I was the top salesperson there. So they've moved me here now as the sales manager." I said, "So what does that mean?" She said, "Well, it means I only work 9 to 5, so that's a good start. And I've just got to manage the sales team and drive the sales." I said, "Oh, that's interesting. Okay." Example 1. Example 2. I was talking to my mum the other day, and I was talking to my mum about how we could put in my mum owns a real estate business, and how can we put in a manager for operations, an operations manager, if you will, inside their agency to take a bit of the pressure off my mum and dad in their business. And she said, "Oh, well, I've got this lady that works there." And I said, "Oh, okay. Tell me about her. What skills does she have?" "Oh, well, she's been there for 15 years. "Yeah, but what skills does she have? And how do those skills match the role that match what we need for this role?" She said, "Well, but she's been there for 15 years. She knows everybody. She knows how it all works." "Yes, but does she have the skills for the role that we're looking for?" Example number 2. And example number 3, which is a really interesting one, is 3 weeks ago before my girls played in their netball grand final. I had, there's some really interesting rules around netball. And I had one of the parents come up to me, and said, for the grand final, you need to pick a captain who is comfortable going up and speaking to the umpires. It's a particular characteristic, a particular trait that we need in that captain to feel comfortable going up and confident to the umpires and ask them if we have any questions about how they're umpiring. And I was kind of expecting them to say perhaps their own daughter, but they said, oh, you should make Zoe captain. And I went, really? And they said, yes, she's the right person because she understands, but she also knows how to go up and talk to people. So that was a really interesting conversation for me to have, but to hear from an outsider. There's 3 different examples of people that are going to be promoted into a role based on or not based on their skill set. And I think this is where we fall down a lot in business. Often we appoint somebody or promote somebody because of how long they've been with the organisation. We appoint them because they are great people. Or more importantly, we appoint them because they are star performers. Like they're our best personal trainer, so we make them the personal training manager. They're our best salesperson, so we make them the sales manager. That doesn't necessarily work. So one of the key things that I believe is the first thing you need to do for every role in your business, whatever business you're in, whatever department you're running, for that matter, whatever team you've got, you need to clearly have what is the skill matrix that you need for each of those jobs. So if you're a sales manager, do you have to be able to sell and close at 90%? I don't believe so. Sales manager means you've got to be able to understand data. You've got to look at those sales numbers and you've got to work out trends. You've got to be able to identify things. Sales manager says to me that you've got to be able to get in there and you've got to train staff. Sales manager says to me that you've got to be able to build morale, build team support. Sales manager says to me you've got to be able to hire people and you've got to be comfortable firing people. All of these skills, good morning Hads, good morning George, how are you? All of these skills don't necessarily mean you are the best salesperson. And I can tell you from my experience in business, many a salesperson, cracking salesperson, has been promoted to sales manager, failed dismally and left the organisation. So not only has the organisation now lost their best salesperson, they've also lost their sales manager, obviously. That's not good. But if they'd kept the salesperson in that role that they do brilliantly and not move them, they would have kept closing sales, kept the business going swimmingly well. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Alyssa over there. Alyssa in New Zealand, Eric over there in LA. So I think it's really important that whatever management role you have in your business, you identify the exact skills that you need in that business. What are the skills that you need for that role? Now, if the best salesperson hits those skills, sure, have them apply for the job. If they don't encourage them to, because you're setting them up for failure. Same with a personal training manager, same with a secretary, same with a marketing person, whatever it is. We must have exactly those skills identified and match them to the person, not what we do a lot in business, which is match the person to the job. We want the job matching the person, not the person matching the job. Okay, number 2 is that you need to have a very, very clear job description. You need to have a very clear job description. So if one of your internals decide to apply for that role, they know exactly how they're going to be judged on that role. They know exactly the roles and the responsibilities of that job. And that, to me, again, is an area that we fall down on because we try to promote within, which I think is a great idea, but we can only promote within if we've got the right person applying for the role. And they only know if they're the right person if there's a clear job description that they can read and can be honest to themselves about whether they hit all those roles and responsibilities. So point number 2 is that we need a clear job description. Point number 3 is that there must be performance measures. So in that job description, there have to be performance measures. So we need to clearly articulate how that person in that role will be judged. Often, a sales manager might think, a salesperson who applies for the sales manager says, well, I've just got to keep having the best closing ratio. No, that's not what the sales manager's job is. The sales manager's job is to manage the sales team so they all get the best closing ratios. So what we would say, therefore, is maybe a key performance indicator or a metric for that role is the retention of salespeople. It could be the department closing ratios, the department lead generation, whatever it may be. But we need clear metrics. And I talked about this in show 52. So if you missed show 52, put 52 in the comments below, because that's where I talk a lot about having metrics and a scoreboard for the business and for each of the roles within your business. The key thing in any business is a scoreboard. You must know what the score is in business. And in this role, you need to know what the metrics are for sales manager, club manager, agency manager, practice manager, whatever department manager you are, you need those metrics. So if you missed show 52, thanks George, you put 52 in the comments below, whether you're watching live or on replay, 52, and I'll send you the link to that show. Okay, number 4. This is a really important one for me, particularly if you are doing an internal appointment. You must, I repeat, you must have a transparent interview process. You need to have an interview process that everybody goes through. Because if you just internally appoint with no interview, and it's just a matter of, here we go, are they the right person? Are you identifying if they have the right skills for that job? And that is the big question. And you'll only find that out when you do an interview. So regardless of the role, there must always be internal interviews. Everybody must go through exactly the same interview, have exactly the same questions for you to identify who is the best for this now management role. Who is the best for this management role? Okay, so I want to give you just a tip on that. I did a show which was show 95 and I talked about 5 key questions to ask in an interview. So if you're watching live or on replay and you missed that show, put 95 in the comments below, 95, and I will share those shows. Matty Fletcher, I didn't even know you were on board. Good morning. And Matty's used those questions, those 5 questions in his interview to help get the right person. So please, 95 in the comments below. I'll send you the link to that show as well. So here's the go, guys. You've got great people working for you. Awesome people. They may well now be in exactly the right seat in your bus. But the question is, when you move them to a higher role in your organisation and you change their seat, are they now in the right seat to perform to their best? Because if they're not, you will lose them out of the organisation. So great person, great provider in their role, then you change their roles, they may not now be a great provider. Something to think about. I do believe, in all honesty, it's easy for us to bring someone up through our organisation. It's easy for us to pick the best person in the role, best person in their job to become the manager. But managing people is a challenge. Managing people is something we need to work on, and it is a skill. It is a skill, and that we need to find the right person for that, or it could be detrimental to our business. What do you think? Give me a love heart if you like some of the concepts that I've talked about this morning. Give me a love heart if you think that in your business you can improve your skill matrix for each of the roles. Give me a love heart if you think you need to improve your job description for the next level up in your business. Or give me a love heart if you think you need to improve your performance measures, being really clear for somebody in a specific role in that business and what that would look like. And then what about systems for your interviews? So that there's transparency in the interviews. Give me a love heart if that is something you think you need to work on in your business to get the right people in the right seat on your bus. Little love hearts coming through left, right, and center. Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right. So that's the end of show 115. What's on this week? On Sunday, I head to New York. Off to New York. So I'm going to be in New York for about 48 hours. I know, it's a long way to go for 48 hours. But in that 48 hours, Chantel and I are going to, I've had to write them down because we're going to so many. Monday morning, we're hitting up a place called Switch Playground. Then I'm doing a mindful class, which is just a 30-minute class at lunch. Then we're off to Rumble in New York, Tone House Tuesday morning, SLT Tuesday afternoon, which is, I think it's called Strengthen, Lengthen and Tone, described by Emma Barry as Pilates on steroids. Can't wait to try that out. And then on Wednesday morning, I'm going to my favourite place in the world, which is the Fitting Room. I do love the Fitting Room. It's a great branded club. It's a superb workout, great coaches, really looking forward to that. Hope they live up to all my expectations. Then on Wednesday afternoon, we head down to Washington for the Motion Soft Conference. So over the next week, I will be coming to you live from Washington, DC. Definitely for JTInTheRaw, but for those in the fitness industry, I'll be coming to you live, giving you updates on the Motion Soft Conference, things that I've picked up and learned from that conference. So you'll feel like you're there, even though you're not really there. And then Friday night, we jump on a plane, we head back to New York. We've got half a day in New York, which means we will hit up another club sometime Saturday morning. Mark, we're going to hit Soul Cycle in Washington. Soul Cycle and Barry's will probably get a bit of a workout when we are in Washington. And that's it. So next week, show 116 will be coming to you live from Washington, DC. I'll see if I can get a special guest on, like Donald Trump maybe. No, just joking. But I will be on 116 next week. At normal time, everything stays the same, so really looking forward to it. Okay, that's pretty much it. Really appreciate the opportunity that Motion Soft are giving to the Fitness Business Podcast and Active Management, being media partners. That's pretty exciting. So it's a big week for us. Really pumped up for that. Can you tell I'm pumped up? No. It's Friday morning. Okay. But I know what pumps you guys up. I know what you guys thrive off. I know what you love, and that is quote of the week. And here it comes. My quote of the week this week is really simple. Find the right people for the jobs, not change the jobs for the people. Find the right people for the jobs, not change the jobs for the people. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned into JTInTheRaw, show 115. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you think anyone could benefit today from helping find the right people to get on the right seats and get this concept in their business, please tag them in the comments below. I'd be very grateful, very, very grateful. Tag them in the comments below. It's been great chatting to you again. I'll see you next week, coming to you live from Washington, DC. Catch ya on the flip side.